Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play MediEvil 2 for the Sony PlayStation 1. In the last episode, we created a Frankenstein monster, and we had to use Dan's head for the Frankenstein monster's head. Then we had to fight a boxing robot in a boxing ring. That went a little better than I expected. Now, we have two places to go to because of disturbances caused by Palethorn with Xerox Spellbook. One of them is in Whitechapel, which Kiya, over there in the background, will go look at. And there's another one in Wulfrum Hall, which Dan is going to look at. Obviously, the next level is going to take place in Wulfrum Hall. It has been so long since I did the last episode, and I almost forgot what everything was. And obviously because the game is increasingly difficult, and it's also harder to refill on health, which I really don't like. What I had to do to get to near full health like I am right here, I had to go to the museum like I've been doing, but I had to rely on the energy vials near the beginning of the stage and then clear it as perfectly as I could without taking a whole bunch of damage. This obviously took a lot of pass-throughs just to refill on health. And I wish the game didn't make the health fountains so useless, to the point that once you drain them, they're drained for good. So anyway, we need to go to Wulfrum Hall. I am going to save my game. I almost thought the mummy's name was Kiya for some reason. Like, that's how long it's been. Like, it's been a couple of days. I even have the air conditioning on because I'm burning up, even though I'm recording this. We've already seen that in the last video. I've got the air conditioning on even though the time of this recording is in late October, even though you probably won't see it until a couple of months from then. I've just got that much stuff done in advance. And don't be surprised if I drink a lot more tea than normal and I burn up a lot, and I talk about that as well. Anyway, Winston's here. Let's go ahead and talk to him.
Hi, Dan. The entrance seems to be guarded. I'll try and find another way in if I was you. As the professor told you about using hands, stand over one and use your head in the inventory. Try that.
And I need to keep my bottle of tea open and away from the edge of the other table. That way I can get to it and I don't have to worry about it spilling everywhere in case something happens. Okay, so Winston mentioned using hands. I've mentioned this in an earlier video. When you're standing in front of a hand, you'll get this flashing cyan light. Hold L1, press triangle, and if the game wants to register it right, Dan will take his head off and put it on top of the hand. From here, you can run, walk, jump, and even use a daring dash. You can even pick up items, like right here, for instance. Now, it may say, they have said earlier that I have 730 gold. I still do. It's just that the hand doesn't have access to it. If I return it back to Dan, just by making sure the light is back in front of him, and hold L1 and press triangle to put my head back on my shoulders, I still have it. It becomes part of Dan's main inventory at that point. Also, before I do anything, I want to equip the bombs. The reason I have the torch equipped is because of all those times I had to go through the museum over and over and over just to get all that health. And let's go ahead and buy 10 bombs, because I know I'm going to need them. Well, maybe not all of them, but, well, you know. And now, it is time to go over here and enter this window. This is the part I do not like. Now we can hide underneath this table, and we can stay on that panel to get the dumb raider running. But over here, is one of the worst places in the stage. You do not want this guy touching you, because if he does, he will throw you out. There is a key on the table. You do not want him to grab you while you have the key, because if he grabs you and throws you out and you have the key in your possession before you can get out of here, you lose the key and you have to get it back again. I had no trouble doing this in the practice run, so I don't know why I'm having trouble now. Come on! And if he hits you with the hammer, you can't escape. You take damage and you get thrown out, no matter what. Now, I can hide underneath the table, and then I can wait for him to move away. And then I can get the key, get back to the previous room, hit the panel for the dumbwaiter, but better yet, you're better off hitting that panel first before you get the key. Once the dumbwaiter comes down, you jump in, you let it take you up, and then you go over here. Now, there's this little girl running around the table. If he grabs you, or she grabs you, it's a little girl actually, it will hurt. Now you do want to go over here. No, 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 no. Get off! If she grabs you, you will take a little bit of damage. You do want to run as you jump up those boxes and then climb the fireplace and then the bookshelf to get to the window. Once you get to the window, go through the window. You'll end up back at the front door. But you should have the key now. You should have the front door key. Now we need to get the little sign light going so we can put our head back on our spinal column there. And then we can do all this. Finally, the harder part of this is done. Let's put the key in here. Now, we saw these green armor suits. I'm struggling to say the right word here, as I always do. That we saw when we were hand. Now that we're coming in here as a full armored skeleton, these things are now coming to life. I want to make sure I beat all of them up, because that's some good, fine energy for the chalice. Let's press X twice. First one to light the bomb, and 2 to set it down right here so we can open up that little thing there. And let's go ahead and get the energy vial and then get out of here. If the little girl gets to you while you were in body form, she will latch on and start sucking out your energy. If that happens, do what the screen says. Press the action button repeatedly to escape, and you'll pretty much push her off of you. Yeah, you do not want her touching you at all. So let's go ahead and use the energy vial. And believe it or not, there is a guy with a hammer. When he has his hammer up like that, he will be blocking. But if you can hit him with a fully charged power slash, or power strike rather, you can do more damage to him. Also, let's talk to Winston.
I've scattered around. The place is infested with vampires. They're immune to all weapons. You'll have to find another way of killing them. I'll explore the top floors while you deal with this one.
Vampires, you say? Well, I guess we'll have to do something about that. Anyway, in case you need a shield, get off of me. You can find a silver shield in that chest. Also, this one has gold in it. And you can go in here too. Now, we're locked in with 2 crypts with vampires in them. They're sleeping. But if you break these windows, allow for sunlight, and then put the vampires in the sunlight, we will set the vampires on fire. If these things start chasing you, use the daring dash to get away from them. These things will explode after a while. Also, in case you need to push something, make sure you're standing completely still and facing the object before you can push or pull. If you strike the object, you're not in the proper position. Make sure you're in the proper position and standing still before you do anything like this. Did a little bit of damage to me, but that's alright. We are now done with this room. And we've now opened the door near the shield. We're near where the shield was. Sadly, you cannot hurt the little girls. You cannot destroy them. You can only stun them. And now for this room. Now we need to go over to here and break the window. This will let in some sunlight. Push this towards the sunlight. And then get out of here. Go back to the other side. The vampire, the Batman, whatever it is you want to call him, he will not reach you over there. Also, nice little Medusa plate right there. Nice little decorative touch. And I'm going to push this a little further this way. And actually, it's a good thing that I actually spent the extra time pushing this into the wall, or towards the wall. That'll make it easier for me to line this up with the crate. And now that this thing's on the crate, we can move this over to right here. Okay. Now that we got that guy in the sunlight, no, you better... Oh, you jumped. You walked off the platform. Well, I had no reason to be scared. Let's go ahead and leave the room. We have now opened another door. I believe this is the one that we opened. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's another one. I believe this is the one that we opened. Yeah, that's the one we opened. But I don't want to go in there just yet. Because, now that I've revealed this room, there's something I do want to show off. If you go all the way over here, you get a life bottle. I'd like that. Let's get it. And now to go to this room that we just unlocked. Now, it takes a little while to figure out what's going on here. One, we need to go over here for some gold. That'll more than make up for all the gold we spent doing that. And if you could be so nice as to not do that. Perfect. Now I need to move you over to the left here a little bit. That's perfect. Believe it or not, you do need to use these two pushable wooden walls for what we're about to do here. We need to go up the stairs, and we need to be careful regarding the energy fountain. I don't want to use that unless I absolutely have to. Second, we are jumping across these platforms. Thankfully, in case you hurt yourself, you fall. Bleh. In case you fall off, you don't hurt yourself, which is quite fine. This is a little harder than it should be because of the... What is it? The camera angles. But at least falling down from this height won't hurt you. And now we need to push these two coffins off this edge. These green tiles, these green areas in the floor, if you push the coffins into them, you trigger that bell near the stairs. And that will wake up the vampires. You don't want to do that. Because the vampires are indestructible, and they will tear you apart. Okay, that is in position. We pushed him back. Let's get behind this thing and push this guy towards the sunlight. There's no place for him to go, and he's going to blow up real good. Now let's push this back a little bit. Don't want to push it all the way back. Otherwise, I can't get behind it and protect myself from the vampires. We need to do this again. And, well, I guess that's one way of getting down here. Let us go ahead and do the same thing here that we did the first time. And if I can find the button on the D-pad to let me push, I'll push. There we go. Getting a lot of energy here for the chalice here. And now we opened that room in the life bottle room up. I'm going to get rid of you. I'm going to get you out of my way. Now, there was a guy with the hammer. We're going to fight him off just like we did the last time. Come here. Just keep hitting him with power strikes with the broadsword. There we go. He's gone. Now to go in here. Okay. We're going to be locked in here. We need to set things up before we go up there. We need to push the long box over to here. And we need to move the short box all the way over to there, where the elevator platform is. This is actually how you want to do everything. And you want to do all this before you go upstairs on that elevator platform. And we're going to push this over to here. This will get us to chase the vampires all the way over to the platform once we drop them down. We will have to drop them down from high above. We need to destroy the boards on this window. I should probably jump when making these jumps. Well, of course I have to jump when making these jumps. What I meant to say was I need to run when I make these jumps. It'll make the jumps easier. And now, well, I guess that's one way of doing it. We can just drop down there. Hey, I'm right here. Hey, I'm right here. There we go. No! Yeah, it's gonna hurt if they get you. And now to get these guys on this platform. If they're wigging out like that when they're on the platform as it goes up, that means you got on the platform, it can't move. And the instant it moves around, it's going to get hit by that sunlight. Now that we got one of the vampires destroyed, let's move this back into position. And then we go up and do the same thing all over again. We get that coffin over there. We have to push that off in a rather, whoa, okay, in a rather high elevation, so that way we can do that. And I guess I can drop down from here. Ow. I do not like the camera angles because I cannot tell at first glance where these guys are. There we go. He gone. Let me get over here. He's going to drop down as soon as he goes all the way up there, no matter what. And as soon as those two vampires are gone, we can go to the other door on this floor. Along the way, while doing everything in here, we filled up the chalice. But before we go into that room, let us go ahead and go to where the front door was. Because I want to get that chalice. Thankfully, getting back to where we need to be, not the hardest thing in the world. We just go across from where we blew up the wall, and then we can get the chalice. Now I need to use the daring dash to get back to where I need to go. It's a good thing I'm not losing a lot of health here. I'd be very bad if I did. Speaking of which, you do want to set up those boxes in that last room before you go up there and mess with the vampires. Otherwise, the vampires are going to maul you while you get everything set up. And before I do anything else, I want to go into this room and fill up whatever health we need, as well as look at this little map. This map will come into play later. I'll explain how it works. Obviously, those little tiles with the faces, they're bad. So, make sure you know where all the bad tiles are. Okay. We need to go someplace. Right. I know what I need to do now. We need to go up to do a thing. And that thing is, if I can stop running long enough. No, not go through that door, though we will have to go through it to exit. We want to break the boards on that window. Oh, right. We need to go over here. There's nothing further to the left from the boards covering up the window. It just loops back to where we came in from. So don't worry about missing out on anything over there. You've seen all there is to see. And now this area. This is what that map we saw near that fountain we saw earlier refers to. So, these three tiles right here and this dark one right here are bad. These two tiles between these two coffins are bad. And so are the bottom three next to this one on the right. And this one in the corner, also bad. Thankfully, the second row is always the best. And this is the square you want everything to go to, because once you get a coffin on this square here, you can just push it forward towards here, and you can break this. If you put the coffin on a tile that you shouldn't, you will ring the bell. That will wake up the vampires. You don't want to wake up the vampires. And thankfully, I managed to get the sun to set that vampire on fire just in time. And when I managed to get the chandelier animation to happen, the first time you raise the chandelier all the way up, the enemy seems to teleport away from you, and you don't take any damage. Now it's time to do this. We need to get you all the way to this row. All of the squares on this row are free. You don't have to worry about anything on this row waking a vampire up. And from here, we can push this back, and we can take the little side path over to here. And here comes the sun. He gone. Now, we need to go over here one more time. Thankfully, we can push everything over to here. Get this thing over to this tile. And then, Push it forward again. Now, take this route one more time. And regardless of where he is in the room, if the sun hits the room, he's done for. And we have now opened the door leading to the exit to this room. Also, you can go back and get the chalice if you have yet to get it. But once you go through that door that was shown in that cutscene we saw earlier, there's no going back. So I would get the chalice before you go up there. Thankfully, we got the chalice. I'm also going to return to the healing fountain one last time just to get that last little bit of health refilled, because let's face it, we're going to need all the health we can get. And then we are slowly going to move to the exit door. As you can see, all that's here is the window we need to remove the boards from and the exit door itself. And we do have the Chalice of Souls. So let's get out of here. We are finally done with Wulfrum Hall, and we're going to have another boss battle here, if the name The Count is any indication. I need to drink some tea. There we go. And as soon as we walk forward, we will meet Winston.
Alright Dan, you've come a long way. I'd save if I was you.
And that's exactly what we're going to do, because I want to keep all that health that I maintained. So, let us save data to the memory card, and here we are.
Whatever's through this door is a lot worse than the stuff you've already encountered. Use your wits, not just your weapons. Reflect on what I've said.
Something tells me that we're going to have to use mirrors, if the word reflect is referenced here. We're going to go ahead and get some gold. And if we need to, we can talk to the Spiv and look for supplies. I'm going to go ahead. I know what I can do. Can I still use the sword? Oh, you're kidding. Really now? The small sword is replaced by the broadsword. That is weird. I did not even know that. Well, I would like to enchant the sword. I don't know if I want to at this moment. Probably not. And I don't know if I'll need to refill on any projectile shooting weapons either. But we will have to be rather crafty when it comes to fighting Count Dracula. But that will have to wait until the next video. Join me next time where we have to fight the biggest, baddest vampire of them all, and see what else our main antagonist has in store for us. Palethorn, that's his name. We'll see what Palethorn has in store for us. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!